So we found a new way how we can modulate cell memory, bringing the cells, white blood cells, immune cells, into novel physiological state, which we name TELS, when they become highly active against different types of tumors. Definitely the master protocols and basket type of clinical trials, platform trials as well, they make now a huge difference. Specifically, I would say the basket trials in oncology space, and I'm a very big fan of these type of clinical trials because they can dramatically accelerate their development and the path forward.
I hope the pediatric review voucher gets reauthorized. It's so critical to figure out how we provide economic incentives for individuals and companies to work on rare disease therapeutics. They're much harder to commercialize, they're harder to develop. The clinical trials are more difficult, they fail more often. So anything we can do to focus pharmaceutical companies and biotechs and other funders on the rare disease space is important.
Our trials are changing constantly. So AI needs to be able to change with it. And you just have to keep innovating in terms of how are you building your software solutions and your models to continue to take new inputs as our data sets continue to grow. The amount of complexity that you can actually automate with an AI system is much greater than what it was even 12 months ago. So what we've been seeing with our customers is thinking about how can you start to train your people to get ready for this revolution that's happening. Regulatory and compliance is a very important topic, especially with AI as it's a newer technology. We've been very fortunate to be able to work with regulatory authorities like the FDA with our sponsors to think about how can AI be used responsibly in trials.
The refresh of E6 is really bringing our attention back to the need for flexibility, the need for us to adapt in a clinical trial along the way, keep that quality and risk-based mindset so that we're really focusing on what matters. We're keeping things like the participant in mind and not just the data at the end. They are both equally critical for a trial to succeed.
I see that between 2030 and 2035, we will see a pivot where we'll have majority of data come directly from the patients and not from the clinic. And right now, the ratio is lab, then the clinic, and then the patient. Now it will change to patient, lab, and clinic. 1-1-1 is a philosophy where you take 1 day to recruit a patient, 1 day for you to bring them into a trial for treatment, and 1 year for them to exit. Right now, on average, trials last 3 years for phase 3 studies, and we want to bring that down to 1 year. So from a timeline perspective, that's going to be huge.
Everybody's really pushing to bring AI to the forefront of advancement, but really it's coming around to efficiencies. And so over the years, we've seen more clinical systems being implemented, but at the same time as they create efficiencies around streamlining data or creating more data, real-time data access, then you create more people that need to oversee that process. So efficiencies comes into having a system that works and help streamline the process, but also reducing the possible resources needed to manage that software, hopefully in turn reducing the cost of clinical trials.
AI is still in a new environment for integrating clinical trials. There's a lot of potential use in developing the protocols and other documentation to help pick up site for feasibilities, for data management, for cleaning purposes. So there are many opportunities for it. There's not yet many off-the-shelf tools. There's not something to just grab and implement. So that conceptually there's a lot of value to it, but really has to be built in. That's going to take a lot of work with the IT and with the emerging new technologies.